This is Sandra. Welcome to Keeping It Spiritually Simple, and it is my honor to have Samuel and Michelle from Awakening Tribes.
And we are pleased to have a conversation with you, with Sandra from Embodiment for Soup.
So today, we've been just yakking for a little bit because these beautiful souls, one is Portuguese and one is French, and you live in Brazil, right?
Brazil.
Yes.
Brazil. Yes. And so we were just going across some conversations about pre-recording about, how did we get to where we are now, and all the glitches that we're experiencing within our electronics, within ourselves, how we're getting messages, and, how can we authentically be ourselves and not fit into other people's columns of what's accepted and what's not accepted. So with that question, those questions, so how did you two decide that this was your path and then create Awakening Tribes?
No, you start. Last time I started, so now you start.
So I live here in Brazil. I'm Brazilian, and then Rio de Janeiro. And then I met this French guy, this Vikings, here in Rio, working. And then we started to talk, and we understood that we have several spiritual things to start to talk. And then we started to date.
Mm-hmm.
So we live together nowadays here in Brazil, obviously. And then in this process of studying spirituality, and we decided to start to share what we studied, what we have as experience to people, because we understand that we can help each other through the internet. Because it's happened to me when I start my spiritual path, and it happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, yes, we after a couple of months, we started to see around us that some things was not very clear. So yeah, we decided to create Awakening Tribes, but at the beginning was not extremely clear how we will make it, and still now. So we just follow the flow. We have some idea to create, a retreat center, spiritual retreat center, not for now, but when the situation will bring us the flow. So now, yeah, it's an interesting journey because we progress all along, and every day a new things happen, a new conversation, a new idea. Like last Thursday or last Friday,
another day, yeah.
And we were walking on the beach like every night, and suddenly, like we were talking just before, an idea collapsed literally, and it was to take a movie, and analyzing the movie as an alchemist. So, because when you start to perceive the reality differently and outside of the box, automatically things start to shift completely, and the matrix start to totally collapse. So we started to do it with After Her, with Will Smith. We thought that Will Smith was the great things to begin with, and then after we decided to, with this idea, to make a mix, and it was very, very funny.
Because it's a kind of a game. When we watch a movie, we start to talk about it. So he thought, maybe we can share with people what we think about the message that we get from the movies. So I think it will be fun.
Yes.
So every day is kind of this idea. We just receive something. We have ideas. Let's share. So this is it. This is Awakening Tribes, and trying to awaken all the tribes that you can.
Yeah, we try just to support people through the process that we believe that many people go through now. It's a big boom, big bang, if we may say. But Yeah,
The biggity bong.
it's a big bong. Yes, yes. So and you, how did you come on this path?
So I've always been on it. I've always been kind of an observer outside the box of family and friends. And I really got on more of it. I mean, I all through the 80s, I mean, I would go see people who did cards in the back rooms of their houses and never told anybody what was going on from the front. I mean, I've lived my life through astrology, and then later became an energy worker myself through massage, and was self-taught, and it all just resonates and just feels so good no matter what anybody else is thinking of me. Or even my marriage at the time was a little bit of embarrassment of like, oh my gosh, you're a massage therapist, that's so weird. It's like, but just really following my path. And as life goes on, I have found and learned to always follow my intuition, which is my inner self. It's my inner guidance. It's my God source GPS, period. And so when I don't is when I always find crap hits the fan. And then I'm like, I knew better. And then fast forward to the last couple of years, really, as soon as March 2020 hit, I was just jumping for joy because I knew something was coming. I didn't know what it was, but it gave me time to sit down and start communicating, finding different ways to communicate, because that's what I had time for. And then into that, being confined to home, Spirit pointed to the computer and is like, you need to get busy on that. And then they asked me to start doing a YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how the heck do I do that? And then, how do I do the lighting? And they were very, very don't worry about your hair. Don't worry about scripts, because I don't do well with scripts. Even as a child, I could be a great speaker if I could speak from the heart. But if you gave me a script, I'm so busy thinking I have to follow it from A to Z, I'm going to screw up that it's never going to come out right. So they just said, no script. We'll give you a couple messages. You just turn the camera on. Don't worry about lighting. Don't worry about hair. Don't worry about pepper in your teeth. Just go do it. And so I started kind of playing with it. And I had an opportunity to join a very big channel, but Spirit just kept saying to me, don't do that. Don't follow that. Don't do that. We want you to continue learning through your own experiences, and you're going to come out the caboose of the train. You're going to come out over here at this end. You're not going to get that bam, couple thousand subscribers and you're busy as hell, right? So what it did for me was allow me to just kind of be like, okay, I'm just going to trust. And so when the messages come through, which leads us to, what we were talking about pre-recording, is how do we get these messages? Are we channeling somebody? Are we pulling in this person and who's okay with what person we're channeling? And how do we know that we're getting through by all these subscribers, but we're not into it for that reason? We're literally into it because we are self-developing and self-exploring, and then meeting people to continue that path, right? And for me, my messages come through the me, myself, and I of it, the God source from within me. Some will call it the higher self. Some will call it their guide team. They're all one. They're all connected. Yes, we have protectors and guides that came in individually to guide us, and they interchange as we go up the ladder, across the ladder, down the ladder. They work with us, but I don't channel yet, any particular one. And I make that very clear. I just say the messages really come through me. And I always know when it's my ego or when it's really a message. Because like I said, the message I got just before this with everybody's aches and pains, and I got that it was the sediment and of the body coming up to be released. But the body is so accustomed to having higher frequencies and then all these lower frequencies hitting it. And the lower frequencies, some of them have been discontinued, and then they use the word, and some have been abolished. That's not a word I use. And then, of course, I came home to post it out on the video, and my whole electrical system has kicked it out 5 times and shortened it. And I'm like, okay, it's just not time to put that out yet.
It was the
But that's how I
energy,
know the difference.
the energy was abolished.
Exactly. The connection was like, you know.
No,
So
it's-
that's how I know I get my messages differently, because it comes through me differently and it has a whole different feeling. Whereas sometimes it's my ego, and then I know that I've gotten some of that information somewhere else. And although it's helping me explore, it's not, the message is, please determine the difference between self-creating an ego and self-creating space
Mhm.
for divine, what's inside of me to open up and start, this whole inner computer of cells starts to talk to each other as you begin to explore yourself.
Yes, with us, it happened a little bit different, because in the beginning, we tried to just start to talk in front of the camera. But because of the language, and we speak English, because he speaks French and English, and me English and Portuguese. So, but English is not our native language, so it's difficult for us. And then we started to, it's not good. And then we decided to work on the script before, trying to put good word that we can practice before, and then give you a right message, because it could be a mess. Mm-hmm. But a couple of months, we started to think, let's maybe start to make podcasts or lives that we can try to practice this kind of different for us. So let's see.
Yeah, which is not easy. I mean, I live in US for almost the past 10 years because I'm also American citizen. I've been adopted. Talking directly to the camera, I mean, I do that through the things. I have no problem, because for some, like you were saying, for some people I will channel, but for me it's definitely not. For me, it's just a connection. So what I do is, for giving some tips to people, what I do is, before opening my phone, I will breathe. I will use a certain technique of breathing. And then after, I will just go on certain meditative state, not deep meditation, but just connecting with myself. And first of all, when I close my eyes, like just a couple of seconds, I start to see shape. Pretty weird. But then after, if I start to take a topic, it's like a waterfall, like we were saying before. And it's interesting, because when you understand, as you were saying, that it's just the higher self. When you are neutral, like I said in the last video, when we find a balance and we are not in this space of roller coaster, which is negative or positive polarity, we find like neutral. So we are nor positive nor negative. We are just connected with our center, with our heart, and the flow just go. And it's another conversation that I had with a French person that I start to work with. He's an alchemist too. I mean, we love alchemy. And we did an interview, like kind of we are doing, but in French. And we play with words, but we say exactly the same things, meaning most of the people, they try to give explanation to things that are so logical. But when I say logical, it's not mathematical equation. It's just logical by experience. But people like resistance. They like to, I have a car, or I have this, or no, I cannot, or that. And they give all the excuse. And even us, sometimes when we discuss, we say to each other, excuse. And
Yes.
And it's helping to progress. And I mean, personally, I join what you are saying by the fact that we need to experience, but I also think that people with some kind of, I will not say skills but I will say inner awareness. Since kids, we know that some things will happen in this world. We know it. And we all go behind the house for a card and crystal balls, or my mom read the card. So I've been raised into it. Michelle, obviously, Pocahontas, she been raised into kind of Indian indigenous. So when you were seeing the dad that passed away a couple of years ago, you were very seeing like an Inca. The profile was, and the guy was in peace all the time, so probably meditating inside. And it's something that people don't get. They all run after stress. They don't run after money. They run after stress. And the fact that we stress ourselves, we cannot find our balance, our neutrality, our heart. And this is very difficult for people shifting now, because like you said, since 2018, 19, but 20, the shifts start to happen. And I understand now the words of abolition, because negativity, especially for people that have kind of certain awareness of some things like is not straight, we start to understand that the balance is about life. We cannot find our true self connecting with our true somethings above. Some will call God, some other will call universe, or whatever, the light. It's impossible to find it if we don't stop to manage this roller coaster that we have.
The roller coaster.
It's no pleasure to go to roller coaster. It's just about emotion, feeling everything's go fast, and you are more stressed. If you didn't vomit before, you got completely stressed and you lost your balance. It's terrible for me.
And you're trained to learn that that's fun.
Yes.
That's fun. You just did something so cool. Now you can tell everybody. It is very important about balance, because our little adrenals that sit on top of our kidneys, I mean, they're surged all the time. I mean, they're in constant surge, and people really they're looking to feed that cortisol, because that gives them these surges of energy, versus looking at it as that is liquid gold. You're not running from a lion, tiger, or bear. Learn how to hone that in and skill it, and practice how to keep that stress level where it is, and maintain that. And when you find that space, you'll find this interconnection that you have that some people can't stand. It's like, oh, I feel so neutral, I don't know what to do, because everyone's programmed to listen to so much outside of themselves. And so that is some of the reasons why I think when we were chatting about listening to other people's videos, it's like, huh? Like what? Like, why are you selling them that? You know what I mean? It's like, and then I have to say, well, you know what? If that helps awaken someone, they'll awaken to understand that maybe that isn't the way, or self-practice to ways that work better for them. And we need more people to just get on here and put out videos. I mean, I don't even watch my videos. You're talking about like putting them out, and then maybe, you didn't feel like you spoke clearly in English and people didn't understand. Believe it or not, that's just a practice run. And once those messages flow and people understand what that flow really feels like, it's like this contentness of like, it's complete. And then you can just hit send and you can just let it go out. Like for me, having computer challenges, I don't know how to put on these big wow pictures and music and all the stuff. And spirits told me, just stay put with whatever it is that you're doing. In time, you'll learn those things. Someone will show you those things. But right now, this is about just helping individuals in the collective, because even though it might be you guys and us talking right now, let's say only 20 people saw this video, right? It still resonates out of all 20 of those people to 20 more, to 20 more, to 20 more. It anchors into Mother Earth. It's from Father Sky. It's all of these things. So if we don't look at the perfect video and the perfect amount of subscribers and the perfect amount of comments as that's our accreditation dial, so to speak. That's our, we did it right. Look at that. We know when we do it right here, even if no one looked at it. We know that it goes through the ethers of the electronics, and no matter how many people hit like, subscribe, or share, it got where it needed to go. And that's how you know you're not using your ego.
No, that's true.
And we talked about ego.
When you started, it's funny because we didn't know exactly what to do. And then we started. Okay, let's do this, and it's worked. But a lot of people say, no, I think you should do this, you should do this, you need to study more, you need to be more ready to.
You're cold.
You're cold, or we are going to have any critique all the time. So if we are all the time waiting the perfect moment or the perfect things, we are not doing it. So we just said, okay, let's do how we think that is correct. And then we started to improve, the life is like this. We are not ready all the time to have babies or marry, whatever.
Everything is about the experience. Everything is about.
It is. And when I was talking about, I had that opportunity to join that big channel and Spirit wouldn't let me. One of the very first Zoom meetings with these people, I'm just in my kitchen. I just turned on my phone and I'm just listening, right? And what I'm getting is, you need to adjust your lighting and tilt your head to the right and probably put on a different color for a shirt. And then someone else said something else. And I'm just like, thank you. Because I wasn't there for that. I wasn't there for the perfect background, the perfect outfit. I remember putting out 2 videos and somehow I went back to look at something and I had pepper in my teeth and I went, oh, well. Oh, wow.
It's happening.
It's whatever.
People, it's something that it's interesting. We are writing a book and we have a chapter on that everyone in this society search to be someone or some things that should be perfect. The kids need to be perfect. They need to be like this. They need, we call that conformist. Mm-hmm. The more you are conformist, the less you are connected with your true self, because you try to please others, but sorry for the word, but we don't give a crap of what people think, because they will always have some things to say about yourself. But when you really look at it, what they are reproaching to you, it's most of the time what they are not able to see within them. So I remember someone telling us, no, but you are cold on your video, but people don't understand the work that we have to deliver to try to please, first of all, ourselves, our ego, but at the same time, the work, and you want to delivering a message that everyone understands. Not the way your hair, your nail, your eyebrow, or whatever. These have no importance. Yeah. We are so much attached on stuff that this flesh, in a couple of years, maybe 100 years, I don't know, will be done. But I will continue to live. So that's so much things to change in this paradigm, in this society, which I do believe in a couple of years will completely blow up and change the polarity, if I may say.
Yes.
We will surf on the vibration, understanding that life will always be negative, positive, depending on how you see it. For me, everything is positive, neutral, because everything is about learning. It's a lesson. I can go to eat an ice cream with Michelle and testing. Michelle don't understand that because maybe we are French. Any test, I try to experience it like crazy, the food, because it's popped everywhere in my mind. Mm-hmm. So for some people, they don't have desire of the food. For others, yes, but doesn't mean that it's bad or good. That just means that you experience the way you want to experience the life.
He has desire in food and I'm not.
We are the opposite on this. She don't eat meat, I eat meat because I want to experience it.
Yes, two polarities and you can deal with this. So we have so lots of similarities,
Similar.
and all the time, and sometimes the opposite. It's funny.
We need the opposite
Yeah.
for progressing. We need it.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we should live in community instead, trying to put people in the box. Are you awakened? I'm not. You are blah.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It's really annoying.
Well, you know what? Describe awakened. I mean, really. I mean, it's like there's all these brands and names and labels, Ascension, all that stuff. And I'm like, really? Can't you just like get up every day and be the best you can be and smile from your heart and do your best not to have that critical eye and the judgment and all and then when people throw it at you, that you're just neutral with it and you can give it love and walk away from it and not bring it home. You know what you were saying about the different things of liking things and being different and so on. You never know somebody until you live with them, and once you live with somebody, you really understand the ins and outs of each other, right? But you know what? This is our house. And if you're not comfortable in your house and with your spirit, with your God source self alone, you don't have to have walls or people around you. If you're not happy here in your house, you're not going to be happy with anyone in your house or around your house. And that's really what we're here to awaken, is like, hey, I put my socks on with the left foot first and you do your right. Great. We both got our socks on, didn't we? I mean, isn't that the analogy? I think it's pants legs. You put your pants on one leg at a time. We all do it, right? Well, maybe I put mine too in. I don't know. But we're all unique. But if we keep trying to fit into these guidelines that have been placed before us, we're never going to be able to get outside of the box. And how about not being in a column? Why do I have to be in a column? Why do we all have to like and dislike the same things in order to fit into a group? Why can't we just be a group of just mixed match people? What is it? The land of misfit toys. They all seem pretty happy in that.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Santa Claus thing? The house of the misfit. Right, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's what it is. I was like, okay.
Even the reindeer is happy.
Yeah, but the house, the land of misfit toys. Oh, that no one likes me because I'm broken. Hey, I'll take you. I like broken toys. But we all we're all unique in our own ways, and just to be together and laugh and enjoy, because you know what? The fundamentals of life are still there. We need to breathe. We need to have shelter. We need to pay for things. We want to love our children. We want to love our children so much. We're trying to make things a little easier for them. And in order to make things easier for them, sometimes we have to tough it out and be the weirdos, so to speak, so that we can make room for more people that are weirdos that are now not weird because we went out there and became weird. I mean, how many times I hear my girls go, "Mom, oh my gosh, Mom." And it's like, that's right.
The
That's
more
right.
the better it is.
Exactly.
The better it is. That's why kids, we had this conversation often. That's why kids are interesting, because parents want to parenting the kids instead guiding them. But the kids teach us how to awaken our inner child. And so it's a complementary, but we don't see that. We put, no, it's their kids.
Yes.
They need to do what is good for the society. No, the society is just an illusion. We need to enjoy, like you said, the broken toys.
Yes.
I remember when I was kid with my cousin, we had a game that we were taking the majorette, the small car, putting under the feet of the legs of the bed. So it was a wood bed, very heavy. So we were like lifting the things, putting the car, and then jumping on the bed and crashing the car. And each time, my cousin will watch the video, I'm sure, he will laugh. And our parents were pissed. But for us, it was good. We were crushing some things, and we were happy to play with after. Like, you see, you have an accident. So the life is the broken toy.
Yeah.
You need to enjoy with You can jump in the I don't know, the shower and accidentally sliding and broke your arms. And what? You will not die. And when you die, it's another experiment that will stop. So, but we put so much paradigm with and like a horse, with religion, with society, with everything is blocked. And nobody, like today I was reading some things about Essenian, and they are very Christian and stuff like that. But I mean, the part that I was reading was interesting. They were saying, enjoy yourself, love yourself, and let yourself be. For me, was the sentence of the day. So whatever Christian I look at any religion. I have friends that they are from Islam. I love some part of Islam. Christian, I love Catholics and other things, but Hebrew, I learn about Hebrew because for different reasons. But every religion have the spiritual part that is completely destroyed and distorted and used and comprehend in a certain way that you're like, but hey, you are idiots to follow some people tell you to do this, not doing this because it's good, it's bad. No, good and bad doesn't exist. It's just about ethic. Why you will not kill someone? Well, because if I kill someone, first, I hurt myself, I hurt someone for no reason, and I will hurt all the family around. So, and I take a life. So I have no purpose on that. No, but so it's all the time duality, that this duality should be unity.
Yeah.
So we live in the time that I do believe that the broken toy that is in the box, we start to see it and we are like, we touch it or not because it's broke. So, but at a certain time, probably sooner that we think, we will take tear the toy and start to play with. And I do believe that we are at the corner of this change, this monstrous.
Oh, yeah, and it feels really good. We've learned about segregation and separation. We've had a lot of lessons in that, and your religions are a lot of that example. And I learned it early on, and my mother converted from one religion to another, and the criticism that came from stepping into a new religion in a new school. And I could be super empathic. I could feel it. I knew what people were saying before they even said it, but I thought, wow, here you are supposed to be this, and then all you're doing is criticizing because I'm different than you, but I'm not different than you. I just worshiped in another house before I came here. And so, we're all starting to openly talk about it. We're not our parents or our parents' parents anymore. It's okay to get out of the box. It's okay to find tools that work for you. But, back to your thing about, killing somebody and all that, you don't do that because it's a rule. You do it because the sacred rule is do no harm. And that's harm with thought. That's harm with, well, if you don't do things the way I want you to do them, then, you can't play in my broken toy house. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. We have to just just practice no harm and just put things out there as authentically as we can. And like we said earlier, if 20 people watch it and only one person gets it, hey, we're not doing this for all of you. We're doing it we're self-developing and exploring. We're hoping that you'll start to self-develop and explore. And then together, this is a global thing. This isn't because we're not being able to physically gather as easily anymore. This has become so awesome.
Yes.
To be able to do it in Zoom.
The problem is that system all the time put us in the box or trying that we need to be perfect. This is the problem that happens to us or our kids. So it's sometimes difficult to fight with this.
And the biggest exhale you can have when you get out of the box and then someone tries to put you back in it and you fight tooth and nail, you're like, I'm sorry, I can't, I will be bummed. No, I can't get back in that box. It's just not happening. And I'm a lot older than you kids. So
No, no.
Yeah, I've
No.
been experiencing this, a long time. And, you know, I have been a subject in the butt of family jokes and things like that. I'm like, well, there goes Sandy. She's over there. She's not
Yeah.
in our mainstream little, perfect little necktie and everything's where it's supposed to be kind of thing. So,
Yeah, no, we did a video on that about the spiritual awakening, tips and sign. And in the sign, we put what you just described, meaning you will put yourself out of the society, that the actual society, because your ethic, the code that you have, it's definitely not the code of the society. And you will experience observation and eye on people, from people, and judging you, but you need to follow your path, you need to follow your art. And Michelle and I, we talk often about that. When I was a kid, I never really followed the society. I remember my uncle told me one day, because he was one of my brother, and he told me one day, but you cannot go on the same flow of people in the same direction of the river. And I responded I was probably 8, 12 years old, not much. And I was like, but who knows that you are not taking the right flow? Maybe you go against the current, because for me, I'm happy. You are not. So he will not watch it, but I will send him these things he will remember. But
Yes.
again, it's so easy to understand. I always take this song that I love, that my last kids was listening when they were kids. The English song, row, row your boat gently in the stream. It's sick. Just that. Since we are kids, they give us the information. Why we don't want to understand? And like said Michelle, the society, or the inorganic one, they know how our brain works. That's why we have a part of the brain named reptilian. They know how to initiate, to generate emotion and feelings, and they know perfectly well how the system works, not necessarily just physiological, but also the electronics that works exactly as we work. The only difference is this system doesn't feel this emotion, the unconditional love. They don't know what is. We do. And you have some people saying, no, but we need to fight. I was this kind of person before, when I started to discover some part of what's going on. And then I decided, I was like, but my best protection is not to protect myself. It's just letting the light of love resonating, and people take it or not. I don't care. I will continue my path. And we had this discussion with Michelle, and I mean, she will say the same things. When you really be out of this kind of, sorry for the term, shitty society that completely messed up what life is, you start to live your life. Some people will stay inside with mask and suit and stuff like that, and you are outside enjoying the beach, and nobody bothering you, because nobody can bothering you. It's your natural things. It's freedom. Nobody can remove from you this freedom that you create on yourself. It's your right things and the right, I will say, energy from Earth. We are here for experiencing this life.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, but something that happened to me is that the same of you. Since I was kid, I was kind of different. People are thinking in one way, I go to another way. My mom told me this a couple of days ago. She said, all the time you are in another way of people. Yes, but before starting my spiritual path, I sometimes I am ashamed, shy, or trying to hide my true myself. and trying to, oh no, why I'm like this? Why I need to be like the people when trying to be like the society. But when you are in your spiritual path, you don't mind anymore. You are no, I will release any mess that I want. I will be just me. I don't hide anything else. If you people like or not,
Yeah.
I don't just be who I am.
Well, we're coming into our own more through our own exploration, but also listening to each other, starting to be more authentic. And the more people have the courage to pioneer and start to speak out, and then you're like, oh, well, then I have the freedom to do that too. And it feels so good. And you just want to mentor that. Hey, if you want to wear a mask and stay inside, that's, I have no judgment of that.
Yes.
I choose not to, and I'm going here. But don't take it upon yourself to start bitching at me, because I'm just going to walk in the other direction and just be like, I'm not even going to engage in that, you know?
Too
And
bad.
so we're here to open all that up. Now, real quick before we end, it is so nice to see a couple together that resonates so well and can filter this through with each other in your relationships, but for the relationships of the children, and then that of family. And it's just so nice and refreshing to see that. And I want to thank you all for creating this channel and coming forth and go through, you know, what you consider obstacles is language barrier. It's not. The more you do it, people are going to listen to it. They're hearing the vibrations of your tones. They're looking at the beautiful energy of you two individually and together. And sometimes people are just going to look at just the energy and go, I have no idea what they said. They just look so happy. I'm going to watch them. I mean, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. It's kind of like, I have no idea what they're talking about, which I do, but I'm just saying, just be like, oh, look at them. They're so adorable. And I mean, so just keep doing what you do and let it just evolve, and let your higher self and your guides and you, because guess what? You can have everybody telling you what to do, including your higher self and your guides. And then you're like, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with that. Or you can have the courage to say, all right, I'll collaborate with you there a little bit, you know, and then you just do it.
Yes.
And people feel that energy and that power, and you know, never worry about if there's pepper in your teeth, or if your hair's on right, or your eyelashes are right. I'm like, a couple times I've been like, oh, okay, I gotta, you know, like, at some point you gotta be like, yeah, screw it.
No, we should teach that to the kids, to be their own personality. And I have one of my kids that is kind of different, because he born with some issues. And since he born, you know, everyone was telling me, no, but you are not the good dad because you don't do that, you know. And I'm like, this kid, the fact that he born like this, he will be perfect as he is. Now, when I talk to him, I'm amazed by his awareness and consciousness. And whatever people said around, I look at him and I'm like, man, I'm so proud of you, because you don't care about what people think, what people says. Yeah. I mean, yesterday he was with his judo staff, and he's a big guy. And I was like, when did you pass this belt? And he was like, I don't know, I don't care. I'm like, but you have a date, right?
It's a belt.
And he was like, I don't care. It's a belt. He told me, he said, the color, I don't care. I enjoy it.
You know, I work with kids, and I have found that, well, they're also uniquely different, but the inside of them is more like they're bored to death with the crap that we grew up doing. I mean, they're so advanced. They'll go through it and go through the motions, but it's more like, that's not stimulating at all to me. And that's something that all of us are going to start bringing forth too, because we're here for the children. We're here for our inner child of ourself. Number one, we have to get back in touch with that. And number two, to be there to really help raise these children to just, you know, just expand the land of broken toys, whatever the hell you want to call it, but just be like, I'm not broken. I'm just unique. that was an experience. I clipped off my arm with that one. I did this because I had experiences, you know, versus the little perfect doll in the corner that's never really getting played with. It's just being watched, you know. You ever notice with kids, as they get older, they want that little blanket that it's torn to pieces and you've re-sewn it, or the doll or the toy that and when they see it again, when they're older, they're like, oh, I just loved that, you know? And it's the pictures of the kids when they're when you think they're a mess, like, oh, let's just say Easter pictures, everyone gets together, they're all dressed perfectly and one won't smile or something happens or whatever. And you take the picture anyway. It's those memories when you look back and then you're like, oh, that one was a pistol that day and this happened and that happened. And oh, well, you know, life goes on.
True. And that's why we remember from our kids only, or even
we have a laboratory at home because his kids with mine are 6 in total, 6 kids.
Yeah,
2 French, 2 American, and mine Brazilian.
In June will be 4 at home, so it will be like half twins. So they are coming in Brazil. That will be something, but the lesson will be good. We will wake up more our inner. I always brought some things with them, so that's fine.
Yeah, we'll see what your hair looks like in the summer videos. You'll be like, this is the only time I don't have kids around. I got to get my message out. Oh, I forgot to brush my teeth. It's whatever.
That's
but
true.
This has been so much fun, and we're definitely going to do it again because I think, you know, we can just continue to just talk about things and laugh and just have fun and just let everybody know that just be yourself every single day and own that. Just own that God spark of yours and be your own fire. Don't wait for someone else to light it for you or ignite it for you. But you know, if we can be part of that and help that, then, you know, it's a tribal fire is what it is. Yes. And do you have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, go ahead.
Go.
Okay. No, it was a pleasure I try to connect. I watch video, even some people doesn't watch our video, but I watch our video. So, I was finding you through a video with the German lady, Akura.
Yeah, Sandra. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I look sometimes, watch sometimes some video that are interesting, completely different that what I thought sometimes. And so I watched several videos, but I try to be called by the energy of people.
Yeah.
And what was attracting was like the magnetism with you was the energy. So I said to Michelle, I tried to connect and several people and other people that Rob, that he will watch it from New York. Same kind of connection. We enjoyed to talk to each other. It was very fun. So I thank you for this time.
My goodness, thank you. So I'll go ahead and end ours and then you can end yours. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and we're definitely going to have part 2 very soon. Blessings.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.